My name is Kristen Lawhon, and this is my story of trust. So my husband John and I had been married about 2.5 years when we decided that we were ready to start our family, and we got pregnant and found out we were pregnant in November, but around May of the following year, we were told by my OBGYN that during my pregnancy at some point I had contracted a virus called CMV, and so we started being followed by a high-risk specialist at that time, and we were told that we would probably more than likely have to deliver our baby girl early, and we were also told that because of the virus that we didn't know what to expect. They, of course, told me not to go to the internet and look and see what all birth defects could be a possibility. But, you know, inquiring minds must know, and so I had to Google it. Later that day, I Googled it and found out that children that have CMV could be born blind or deaf or have learning difficulties. We just had no way of knowing if Emory would or would not be affected by the virus that I had come in contact with. During my bed rest, I would go up to her room and I would sit on the fluffy pink rug that we had laid out for her, and I would pray over her, and I would pray, of course, for God's healing over her, but I would also pray that if she was born blind, or if she was born deaf, or if she was born with learning disabilities or any kind of issues, that the Lord would equip John and I as her parents to be the parents that He would have us to be for her, that He would just prepare us for what was to come. She was born about three weeks early. We had to have a C-section, and she was born early, and when she was born, she weighed 3 pounds and 6 ounces, and she had to be in the NICU for about a week and a half. And I'll never forget my high-risk specialist coming into our room, our hospital room, before we had to go home and leave her there. And she came in just to say hello and to give me a hug, and she was like, well, I just want to let you know, we did Emory's cranial ultrasound, and we did her blood work, and there's absolutely no trace of the virus in her body. And John and I just knew that was something that the Lord had provided for her, that He had done that healing that I prayed for, He provided that. He did that for her. He did that for us. And of course, that was just the beginning of our parenting journey with Emory. And I was it was one of the hardest times that John and I had ever faced as a married couple, but it was also one of the best times because God just taught us so much about His trustworthiness and His faithfulness and His provision. And He used His church to minister to us and to love on us during that time. And we were just so thankful. Emory was about 6 months old. At a regular well checkup, our pediatrician found a heart murmur. And we found out that she had what's called an atrial septal ventricular defect. So the muscular wall that divided her heart into those 4 chambers, there were a couple of holes there, and it was causing her heart not to function as it should. And because of where the defect was located, we were told that they were going to wait and let Emory grow and get bigger, but that eventually it would result in open heart surgery for our baby girl. So that was another okay, Lord, we're going to trust you. I learned during her birth through that process that Emory, one, did not belong to me, that she belongs to the Lord, and that He is writing her story. And so there was a lot of just trusting the Lord for that and recognizing that the Lord was in control and that God was going to bring glory through this situation. So we scheduled her surgery for St. Patrick's Day of 2015. he reassured me that Emory was going to be okay, that I didn't have to worry about her, that I could trust him, and that he was going to take care of her. It was just the most amazing thing to watch God just use those doctors, use those nurses to heal her and to heal her heart. And at the same time, God was healing my heart. God was helping me to trust him. God was helping me to see that he is so faithful and he loves us so much. And we don't have to be afraid. Ever since then, she is healed perfectly. And we know without a doubt that is God just continuing to write the story that he has for her and the story that he has for us as her parents, of just trusting the Lord with her, trusting the Lord with our children's lives, and knowing that he is in control, that he loves us so much, and that we do not ever have to be afraid.